RVBN, the Rich Video Blog Network, home to weekly NFL predictions, great personality profiles, great professional wrestling video blogs, great sports video blogs, great MBTA video blogs, and a whole lot more. Collection of my work goes back to June of 2014 on various social media websites. RVBN, the only video blog on the internet that matters. Time now is 7:59 in the morning, Billerica, Massachusetts, on Saturday, March 4th, 2017. Good morning, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. This is Rich again, back for your first video blog of the day. It's so cold out, only about 12 degrees. High temperatures, only going to be about 20. A dusting of snow fell, but nothing serious. And this is probably going to be the coldest day of the next 7 days. The warm trend continues, and next chance of precipitations Tuesday. Some rain showers. Some news to report on the RVBN News. Why the Boston Celtics beat the LA Lakers by the score of 115-95 last night. Also, Commissioner Adam Silver of the NBA said that changes are coming to the NBA All-Star Game, so look out for that beginning next year. And that's about it on the news from the RVBN News. Why be back in a flash with my first video blog subject today, the personality profile, former WWE Triple Crown winner, Pedro Morales. If you want to contact me, go to rsaraso@hotmail.com or follow me on Twitter at Chewy7. Add me to Facebook or subscribe to my videos on YouTube and Google+. I'm all over the World Wide Web. I'm back. My first video blog subject of the day is my personality profile. Today's personality profile is about WWE Hall of Famer Pedro Morales. Pedro Morales was the first Triple Crown winner in WWE history. He was the first wrestler to hold the WWE World Championship, the WWE Intercontinental Championship, and the WWE Tag Team Championships. Pedro was also probably the most popular Latin wrestler of all time, and successful one. Pedro was born in Capoloto, Puerto Rico, which was an island off the mainland of Puerto Rico, and Pedro came from a large family. His mother's side had about 85 cousins, and when Pedro was a teenager, he moved to New York City to live with his aunt, and Pedro got involved watching wrestling there at Madison Square Garden. He wanted to be a wrestler. He made his professional wrestling debut in 1959. He used the name of Buddy Gilbert, and he used a few other names before settling on his real name, Pedro Morales. The first few years of Pedro's career, he wrestled for Vince McMahon and the World Wide Wrestling Federation as like a lower mid-carder, getting some wins here and there, but also losing a lot. In 1965, Pedro wrestled at the West Coast for Mike LaBelle's promotion in Los Angeles. He was recommended to wrestle for that by classy Freddie Blassie, who made a trip to the East Coast to feud with Bruno Sammartino because Pedro wanted to wrestle in Texas for the Funk Brothers and Dory Funk Sr. at the Amarillo territory, but Freddie Blassie says you can make tons more money in Los Angeles and Mike LaBelle's promotion, so he did, and Pedro won many titles in Mike LaBelle's promotion, and he feuded with classy Freddie Blassie and John Tolis and the famous Convict, who became Uncle Elmer, and other wrestlers. In 1970, Pedro returned to the WWF, and he was the billed as the United States champion. Bruno Sammartino was taking a break as WWE champion, and he had to drop it to Ivan Koloff. And 3 weeks later, on February 8th, 1971, Pedro Morales beat Ivan Koloff to become the 4th wrestler to hold the WWF Championship. And New York had a big Latino population, and Pedro, for the next 2 3/4 of the year, was the WWF champion. He was real popular. He feuded with Ivan Koloff and Big Cat Ernie Ladd and Classy Freddie Blassie and Don Leo Jonathan and George the Animal Steele, among others. He sold out Madison Square Garden many times, and he sold out Boston Garden and the Philadelphia Arena and Baltimore Arena and the Washington Arena, among others. And the fans were cheering, Pedro, Pedro, Pedro. Eventually, the 3rd year of the championship, title reign, the crowd to see Pedro were dwindling, and Vince McMahon Sr. wanted Bruno back as champion temporarily before he could groom the next Bruno. So Pedro dropped the WWF Championship in Philadelphia Arena on December 1st, 1973 to Stan the Man Stasiak, and Stan dropped it 9 days later to Bruno Sammartino at Madison Square Garden. Pedro still wrestled for the WWF for another year, but he was used mainly as a mid-card. 1975, Pedro left the WWF, and he took his talents elsewhere. He wrestled in Stampede Wrestling, and he also wrestled in AWA for about a year, feuding with Nick Bockwinkel over the AWA World Title, and also he wrestled for Championship Wrestling from Florida, and he made tours of New Japan. In 1980, Pedro came back to New York, and it was the WWF, and immediately he was put in a program with the Wild Samoans, and he teamed with Bob Backlund at the Showdown at Shea on August 9th, 1980. Bob Backlund and Pedro Morales beat the Samoans to win the WWF World Tag Team Championship, but the belts needed to be vacant immediately because Bob Backlund was also the WWF Championship and couldn't hold 2 titles back then. Later on in the year, Pedro Morales starts a feud with Ken Patera over the Intercontinental Championship, and on December 8th, 1980, a card that wasn't televised on Madison Square Garden Network, it was the night that John Lennon got shot and killed. Pedro Morales beat Ken Patera to win the WWF Intercontinental Championship. He held that title for approximately 7 months, feuding with Killer Khan and Angelo Mosca and Sergeant Slaughter and Don Morocco, the Magnificent One. In Philadelphia in June of 1981, the Magnificent Don Morocco beat Pedro Morales for the Intercontinental Championship in Philly, and for the next several months they feuded over that title. Pedro regained it in November of 1981 in a Texas Death Match over Morocco, and for the next 14 months Pedro held the Intercontinental Championship for a second time. He feuded with Greg the Hammer Valentine, Pedro Playboy Buddy Rose, Jimmy Superfly Snuka, Sweet Hansen, and so many others. He never lost the Intercontinental Championship in 1982, but on January 24th, 1983, Pedro wrestled his old rival, the Magnificent Don Morocco. Don Morocco beats Pedro Morales to regain the Intercontinental Championship. Pedro stayed in the WWF for a few more months before leaving the WWF in the summer of 1983 to wrestle in WWC. He spent about a year and a half in WWC, winning a couple of WWC World championships. He was the number 2 baby face down there because the number 1 baby face in WWC is Carlos Colon. When Vince McMahon Jr. was expanding the WWF to become a worldwide powerhouse in sports entertainment, Pedro resigned with the WWE in 1985, and he wrestled for them approximately 2 years. In the ring, he was used mainly as kind of a lower mid-card wrestler. He would get a lot of wins on television, and he would show some competitive matches at the house shows. Usually he was putting mid-card heels over, like Cowboy Bob Orton, or his former rival, the Magnificent Don Morocco, or the Iron Sheik. And actually, Pedro got a couple of title matches for the Intercontinental Championship against Randy Macho Man Savage. Most of them ended on countouts or disqualification, but Pedro really looked pretty good. Pedro's in-ring career ended in 1987. He was basically doing house show jobs to some of the wrestlers like the Honky Tonk Man and One Man Gang and a few others. After Pedro's in-ring career was over, he stayed with the WWF. He was the Spanish announcing team for many years until the mid-1990s when he left there to be part of WCW Spanish announcing team. He stayed with WCW until they folded in 2001. Pedro was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 1995, but he did not attend the Hall of Fame ceremony because he was busy, because he was working for WCW at the time. Pedro retired completely from the wrestling business in 2001, and he retired to New York City. A few years ago, Pedro was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and that's sad. Heard that he wanted to move back to Puerto Rico after, he retired from everything in wrestling, and he had built a nest egg for money that he could have, he could have moved down there, but his health deteriorated and he has advanced Parkinson's disease. And that's about it on Pedro Morales. Be back later. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google Plus. 2 more video blogs coming for you today. First video blog will be about why the Boston Red Sox should retire number 25 in Tony Canigliaro's honor. And third and final video blog on that will be about the WWE house show results from MSG from November 24th, 1986. Keep calm, everybody. I'm Julie Button, Guy Molly with Blood, WCCO, Accent, Nice Legs, Elizabeth Hot, So Sunny, She's Best, Amy Sweezy is awesome, Amy, Linda Church with WPIX Channel, Love New York, Such a Wagging Cougars, Got the Best Legs in New York City, Banan, Barbara Gibbs for ABC 11, has Sweet Southern Accent, Best Legs in Raleigh, North Carolina, and Lisa Bell, News 6 is awesome, 4th Best Legs in Orlando, Florida. Have a good day. Bye now.